So tonight we are focusing on the sacral center and the third eye. And I've really gone through a lot of different ways of thinking about talking about this tonight. But human design has been like in the forefront of my mind today. So I think I'm going to use a little bit of that theory to talk about this today. I think that in Western society, we tend to use our brain for our thinking and for our decision making and for how we go about making our path in the world, trudging down our path. It's making things happen. It's making these logical, rational decisions. And there's more and more evidence that there's a lot of wisdom in our body. So if we think about the sacral as kind of our gut response or our emotions, then there's a lot of wisdom that we can take from our various emotional states. If we're feeling sad, maybe that means we need to put up a boundary. Or if we're feeling angry, that probably means we need to put up a boundary. If we're feeling happy, maybe that's something that we need to lean into a little bit more. So when we work on the sacral, it's really about trusting that any emotion that we have is valid and every emotion is leading us closer to the life that we're supposed to be leading and closer to the path that we're meant to be on. I like to think of the third eye as our more ancient brain, that it's like wise from a heritage of our mothers and our grandmothers, that there's decisions that we make from that kind of instinct that we can't put a logical reason behind, but turns out to be the best decision that we've ever made. And a lot of times our intuition is that it's unexplicable. It's without reason, it's without real understanding, but it's true. And the more that we can sit in that space of allowing our emotions and allowing our intuition to be true and to be valid, the more that we trust ourselves and the more that we look to ourselves for answers instead of, buying a marketing program from somebody and trying to do their steps. We're really in the space of our own yeses and our own nos and our own understanding of what will make us happy in the world. So the post that I put up today on Instagram was a lot about sitting into yourself and the things that you want and letting that be the truth of the path that you begin to take. So that's where we're going today. And I had lots of plans, but I'm just going to let whatever happens happen. Margaret said that she really enjoyed journaling last week. So if that's something that you're interested in doing today, you're more than welcome to do that. Or you can follow along with a little bit of meditation that I'm going to do, or you can listen to the music and relax and chill. It's completely up to you. Now we're going to see if I can share my screen. This one. Stop sharing my screen because that's not the right one. Here. One moment. Your patience is greatly appreciated. Here it is. Okay. Okay. So yes, cameras on or off. You can lie down, you can sit down, you can write anything that comes up for you during this time. You can just listen. It's completely up to you and everything is correct. Let's see how loud our sound is. So you're going to start by taking a deep breath in through your nose and a long, slow breath out through your mouth. And again, in through your nose and a long, slow breath out through your mouth. You need to shift in your seat or wherever you're lying down. Find the most comfortable position that you can right now. Continue to slowly breathe and turn your thoughts inward as we begin. Today, I would like you to imagine a bright yellow ball right in your belly, just below your ribs, golden and yellow, and oh, so bright. I want you to see that ball shining brightly as it comes out and sits just before you. It's about the size of a grapefruit. As you breathe in slowly, the ball begins to expand even bigger. And as you breathe out, it begins to glow even brighter. This is a very special ball because it's wise and it knows everything you need, everything you want, everything you've desired. If there's a question that you've been wondering, that you want your own true answer to, you can ask this beautiful ball of light. But you'll have to listen closely. You'll have to be quiet and still and let it speak to you. But for the next few minutes, think about your question and then ask and then listen. Let yourself be open. Let yourself hear. And now, if you're ready, I want you to think about a situation that's come up in the last week or so. It's had a lot of emotion tied to it. Confusion, frustration, sadness, anger, happiness, joy, bliss, something with just a lot of intense emotion. And I want you to ask that glowing ball, that wisdom of yourself, what was I meant to learn in that situation? What was the lesson? What's the action that I was meant to take? And now the ball of light begins to return to its normal size, about the size of a grapefruit. But before it enters back into your belly, I want you to make a deal with it. I want you to say to the ball, I will listen more closely if you will speak just a little bit louder. And in this way, we build trust with ourselves, with the messages of our body, with the wisdom within. And as the ball enters back into your body, you can put your hand over your belly and just feel the difference. The calmness of your stomach, the weight off your shoulders, the simplicity. Now we'll shift our attention to our third eye. Center just to the spot just on your forehead between your eyebrows, a little bit deeper into your head. You might receive wisdom from this area as a thought popping into your mind, a whisper, a knowing. This guidance, I think, comes from a higher place, our higher selves, our spirit. This intuition is more completely composed than what our gut tells us. And yet we listen to it not as often. So as we begin to open our third eye, what would you like to know about the bigger picture of your life? The grand plan, the map of this journey. What would reassure you that you're going in the right direction? That you'll have all you're meant to have and more, that you're deserving and worthy and loved. Let the wisdom of your third eye speak to you now, gently reassuring you the truth that you are worthy, that you are loved, that you are supported, that you are guided. If you're not quite sure what the voice sounds like, your higher self, it's your inner cheerleader, your wisest protector. The support when you can't go on any further, and yet you do. This voice is so strong, and it's a part of you, and it's beyond you. What questions would you ask your higher self? What guidance would you seek? And how deeply are you willing to listen? breathing. The wisdom of the third eye connected with the wisdom of the solar plexus gives us vision, big picture, an immediate understanding of our yeses and our nos. With this full picture, this full feeling, this intuition, guidance together, we stand in ourselves and our purpose, in our plan, in our actions with more stability, with more confidence, and with more focus on our growth and our expansion and our connection. And for the next few moments, as I work on the channel between the two chakras, I want you to think about who you would be if you knew in this moment what you needed to do. You knew in this moment where you were going. You had full confidence in the decisions you were making, the choices. How would that feel? Who could you become? there's any final questions you want to know from yourself right now, go ahead and ask them in these last few moments. Clarification on the next step, understanding the grand plan. Nothing is too big and nothing is too small. And the answers are all right there within you. Now take a deep breath in through your nose and let it out through your mouth with a sigh. Another deep breath in and another slow sigh out. Start to bring a little gentle movement back to your body. Maybe put your hands on your heart. Start to wiggle your toes and stretch your arms and legs if that feels good. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. I think especially with the internet, we have been taught that there are so many answers outside of ourselves and that we have to go searching to find the right one, to find the right path, the right method, the right answer out there somewhere. And we really do have so much wisdom inside of ourselves, both from our emotions, and from our gut response, and from this unknown intuition that sometimes comes. But we have to practice trusting that, because we've practiced looking things up on Google. We have to come back to sitting in quiet with ourselves and listening for the answers to our questions. And it's slow, and it takes time, and it takes patience. And it's not always the answer that we want to hear. And sometimes it's scary, but more often than not, it's the right answer. And I'll just tell one story before I turn off the recording. my meditation teacher, like 8, 9 years ago, when I took a course, was telling us a story about how to look at your fear as an engine. Um, and if you consider yourself a train on a track and your life is like this landscape, if you're going along on a meadow or a prairie, then your train can go at the same speed. And the little guys inside your train who are putting coal into the engine, because that's what kind of train you are, they can keep going with a steady amount of coal. But if there's a mountain up ahead and you see the mountain from this plane, you can't start putting more coal in your engine halfway up the mountain. You have to start ahead of time. You've got to get that engine revving and going. And so if we think of our fear, our anger, that knot and tightness and energy in our belly as something that's getting us up and over a mountain that we haven't climbed before, then we don't have to ignore it, and we don't have to run from it, and we don't have to push it down. We can just say, okay, I've got a new experience coming and I need more energy for it. And this is going to help get me there. I used that a lot when I first started painting, and I did some things I was really terrified of, but they ended up being the right things. And my engine got me up and over that hill, and I was ready for the next one. So we have to respect our emotions more deeply. We have to listen to what they're telling us more deeply. And we have to trust that our body is responding in the way that it's responding for a very good reason. And use that as wisdom to move our lives forward. So that's today. I'll turn off the recording if anybody has any questions. But it's going to take me a minute because okay. Thank you.